was born by the river in a little tent hole.
You just saw Jamal Roberts get crowned the new American Idol. You saw the tears, the confetti, the whole dream come true moment. He was handed, metaphorically anyway, a check for $250,000 and a life-changing record deal. But what if I told you that cash prize has so many strings attached, it's basically a loan? What if that record deal isn't a gift, but a pair of golden handcuffs? The truth behind what a winner gets in 2025 is one of the most carefully built illusions in reality TV. This isn't just about what Jamal Roberts won. It's about what he's now on the hook for. This is what Jamal Roberts actually got for winning American Idol. Let's talk about that big, shiny number, $250,000. It's the number that gets flashed in headlines and tossed around in interviews. Sounds like you hit the lottery, right? Instant financial freedom. The reality, though, is way more complicated. The first thing you have to understand is that the American Idol prize money is not a gift. It's not like winning a new car. In the music industry, they have a word for this. It's an advance. And what's an advance? Simply put, it's a loan. A loan you have to pay back before you see another dime in profit. This is the big secret that changes everything. That $250,000 is an advance against all of your future earnings. Here's how it usually works, based on what past winners like Maddie Poppy from season 16 have said. You don't just get a wire transfer for the full amount the next day. The prize is paid out in pieces. Typically, a winner gets about $125,000 when they sign the contract with the record label. These days, that's usually Hollywood Records. The other $125,000? That only comes after you've finished and handed in your first album. This whole staggered payout thing is completely intentional. It's the label's way of making sure you actually get in the studio and produce a record for them. It keeps them from handing over $250,000 to someone who might just take the money and vanish. In fact, about a week after his win, Jamal Roberts told reporters he still hadn't gotten paid. He said, "I haven't received it. Don't know where it is. I'm interested in knowing." This isn't a sign something's wrong, it's just how slow the industry's paperwork moves. But it definitely shatters that illusion of getting a giant check on stage. So, Jamal gets half the money up front. But even then, it's not that simple. From that first $125,000 payment, Uncle Sam comes calling. This prize is income, and it's subject to some serious federal and state taxes. A huge chunk of that money, we're talking tens of thousands of dollars, is gone before he can even touch it. As Maddie Poppy put it, you do get $250,000, but not really because of taxes. But here's the most important part, the entire $250,000 is recoupable. That's the industry term. It means the record label will pay itself back out of the artist's future. Royalties. Before Jamal Roberts makes a single dollar from music sales or streaming, the label has to get back every penny of that $250,000 advance. Think of it like this: you get a $250,000 loan to start a business. You can't say you've made a profit until you've paid that loan back. It's the exact same deal here. The prize money isn't a reward for winning, it's seed money to start a career, and it comes with the expectation that it'll be paid back. This is a world away from the early days of Idol. When the show was getting 30 million viewers a week, winners like Kelly Clarkson and Carrie Underwood reportedly got record deals worth $1 million. The prize was bigger because the show was a juggernaut that practically guaranteed a platinum album. But as the TV and music worlds have changed, the prize has shrunk. Those $1 million deals are gone, replaced by this much smaller, and much more conditional, $250,000 advance. So when you see Jamal smiling on that stage, just remember what's really happening. He didn't just win a prize. He just accepted his first business loan. If the cash prize is a loan pretending to be a gift, then the record deal is a maze of obligations pretending to be an opportunity. Winning Idol gets you a recording contract, recently with Hollywood Records or a deal with BMG and 19 Entertainment. On the surface, that's the whole point. It's the key to the kingdom. But the actual terms of that deal are where you see the cold, hard reality of the modern music business. On top of the $250,000 cash advance, the winner is usually given a separate budget to actually record their first album. For recent seasons, that album fund is reportedly around $300,000. Now, it's critical to know, this is not money that goes into the artist's pocket. This is a work budget. And just like the prize money, it's also an advance that is fully recoupable. That $300,000 pays for everything. It covers the expensive recording studios, the producers, engineers, mixers, and session musicians. It can also be used for marketing, music videos, and photo shoots. Every single cost gets billed against that $300,000. And Jamal doesn't just get to keep whatever is left over. The label holds the purse strings, approving every expense to make sure they get a commercially viable album out of it. And here's the kicker, that $300,000 just gets added to his debt. So, before his first song is even out, Jamal Roberts is now roughly $550,000 in the red with his label. That's the $250,000 personal advance plus the $300,000 album advance. He won't earn any royalties from his music until the label has recouped every single dollar of that $500,000 investment. This is how most major label deals are structured, but it's a shock to viewers who think winning the show means you've made it. The truth is, winning just means you've been given a very expensive chance to try to make it. On top of all that, you've got these things called 360 deals, and it's very likely the Idol contract is one of them. A traditional record deal meant the label only got a piece of your record sales. A 360 deal, though, gives the label a cut of everything. We're talking tour and concert money, merchandise sales, endorsement deals, appearance fees, even money from acting or book deals. The label's logic is that their marketing of your music is what creates all those other opportunities. They figure if their album makes you famous enough to sell out a show, they deserve a piece of that action. For the artist, it can feel like you're working for the label, not with them. As your debt gets paid down by every dollar you make in the entertainment business, the contract also comes with a ton of pressure. The label needs its money back, and fast. Winners are often rushed into the studio to cash in on the finale buzz. Creative vision can get steamrolled by commercial demands, with the label having the final say on songs, producers, and the album's sound. An artist might have a specific vision, but if the label thinks something else will sell better, the artist has very little power to say no. After all, they're $500,000 in debt to their bosses. It's the ultimate devil's bargain. You trade creative freedom for the massive promotional power of a company like Disney/ABC. It can launch a superstar, but it can also trap an artist in debt and compromise. The record deal isn't a prize. It's a high-stakes business partnership where the artist starts with all of the debt. To really get what Jamal Roberts' prize means in 2025, you have to look at how the show has changed. The American Idol of today is a totally different animal than the one that launched back in 2002. In its golden age on Fox, Idol didn't just make TV, it made kings. It was the biggest thing in pop culture, and the prize reflected that. The first winner, Kelly Clarkson, and other early champs like Ruben Studdard, Fantasia, and Carrie Underwood, walked into a music industry that was basically built for them to succeed. Radio was everything, people still bought millions of albums, and the promotion from the #1 show in America was priceless. Their prize wasn't just a record deal, it was a coronation. And as we mentioned, reports from that time consistently pointed to a $1 million prize deal, but it was more than the money. They were almost guaranteed a #1 debut on the Billboard charts. Their first singles sold hundreds of thousands of copies in a week. They were fast-tracked to the Grammys and multi-platinum albums. The machine was so powerful it created superstars who are still huge today. Reflecting on her win 20 years ago, Carrie Underwood said, "That's a decision that changed my entire life. I have no idea where I'd be." She wasn't kidding, but as the years went on, things started to change. Streaming, social media, and the fall of album sales fractured the power of TV and the old record labels. Idols. Ratings, while still decent, started to fall. So the prize package changed, too. When the show moved to ABC in 2018, it came with a more fiscally responsible approach. The $1 million prize was gone for good, replaced by the $250,000 advance structure we see today. You can see the results in the careers of recent winners. They get a boost, for sure, but it's much harder to become a household name. Winners like Lane Hardy, Just Sam, and Chas Beckham haven't hit the same heights as their predecessors. In a really tough example, Season 18 winner Just Sam reportedly went back to busking in the NYC subways to make ends meet after her deal with Hollywood Records fell apart. Season 20 winner Noah Thompson was dropped by his label and is now an independent artist. This isn't about their talent, it's about the fact that the idol machine just isn't as powerful as it used to be. The guaranteed launchpad is now more of a hopeful catapult. Even the contracts became a problem. Season 11 winner Philip Phillips, who had a monster hit with Home, later sued to get out of what he called his oppressive contracts with Idol's production company, claiming they had too much control and were charging crazy fees. The story of the Idol prize is really the story of the music industry over the last 25 years. It went from guaranteed hits to a much more cautious, budget-conscious, and uncertain world. Jamal Roberts won the same title as Kelly Clarkson, but he inherited a very different kingdom. In the social media age, the story of what happens to a reality TV winner gets written in real time by everyone. This creates a swirl of information where feel-good stories can go viral, whether they're true or not. After Jamal Roberts won, a few compelling narratives about his life after the show blew up, but when you look closer, the line between fact and fiction gets real blurry. The biggest story was that Jamal, the humble former PE teacher, had donated his entire prize to his old school, Crestwood Elementary in Mississippi. Posts on Facebook and X claimed he'd fulfilled a promise to give back, sending a supposed $500,000 prize to the school. The story was perfect: the local boy makes good and immediately gives back. It got shared thousands of times. The problem? There's zero credible evidence this ever happened. Fact-checkers like Snopes looked into it and found the claim was false. No real news outlet reported it. Neither Jamal nor the school district ever confirmed it. The rumor seems to have started from a bogus YouTube video. There were a few red flags from the start. First, the rumor said the prize was $500,000, which is double the actual $250,000 advance. Second, as we've covered, he hadn't even gotten the money when the rumors were flying. When reporters actually asked him what he planned to do with his winnings, his answer was way more realistic: put it in the bank. This doesn't make him a bad guy. It makes him a smart guy. The donation story, while nice, was pure fiction. Now for what was real. His debut single, Heal, was an immediate success. A BMG press release celebrated the song hitting #1 on Billboard's Hot Gospel Songs chart, calling it a major career milestone. This was a solid claim, backed up by industry sources. The song, a cover of a Tom Odell track, clearly connected with people and sold thousands of copies right away. The good news kept coming. In June 2025, it was officially announced that Jamal would be a special guest on a huge U.S. tour for R&B legends Brandy and Monica. This tour would put him in arenas in 24 cities, a massive platform for a brand new artist. This was a legitimate, significant step in his career, and a perfect example of the real prize of winning: exposure money can't buy. And finally, there was the cruise. On the finale, Ryan Seacrest announced that both Jamal and the runner-up would get a trip for 4 on the Disney Wish cruise line. Since Disney owns ABC, this is just classic corporate synergy, but it's a real, confirmed perk he actually got. What all this shows is the complicated reality for someone like Jamal. His real wins are big, a #1 single on a Billboard chart and a spot on a major national tour. But the public story is also shaped by fake, feel-good rumors. It's a good reminder to be skeptical of what you see online. The true story of what Jamal got is less sensational than the internet wants, but in a lot of ways, it's far more interesting. So if the cash is a loan and the record deal is a trap, what did Jamal Roberts really get for winning American Idol? The answer is something you can't touch, but is worth way more than money: a platform. The real prize in 2025 isn't the check, it's the exposure. It's a multi-million-dollar marketing campaign for the Jamal Roberts brand that he just got for free. For 3 months, Jamal was on TV in millions of homes every week. People learned his backstory, heard his voice, and got invested in his journey. He went from a PE teacher in Mississippi to a nationally known artist with a built-in fan base. You just can't buy that kind of promotion, and you can see this exposure pay off almost instantly. After his win, Jamal did a media tour, showing up on Good Morning America and Live with Kelly and Mark. These are spots usually saved for established stars. He was featured in magazines like People, Good Housekeeping, and Newsweek. This media blitz cements his name in the public's mind and opens doors that were locked tight before. His win also had huge cultural significance. He was the first black man to win American Idol since Ruben Studdard way back in 2003, breaking a 22-year gap. This historic angle became a big part of his story, elevating his profile even more. This platform is what a real career is built on. His hit song, Heal, and his spot on the Brandy and Monica tour are direct results of this platform. The label, BMG, put money behind his single because they knew an audience was already there. The tour promoters added him to the lineup because his name helped sell tickets. The numbers back it up. The season 23 finale had a record-breaking number of votes for the ABC version of the show. Some reports said over 26 million votes were cast. That's millions of people who are already invested in his success. His social media following exploded overnight. This is the prize that matters most in today's music industry. It's not about the advance you have to pay back, it's about the audience. It's about the brand. The show gives you the initial spark. Of course, this platform has a ticking clock. Public attention moves fast. The Idol bump doesn't last forever. The winner has a very short window to turn that exposure into a real career before the next winner comes along. Ultimately, American Idol is a launchpad. An incredibly powerful one, but it's not the whole rocket. The show gives the winner a huge head start, but it's up to the artist and the label to build the rest. The real prize Jamal Roberts won was a head start. In an industry with millions of artists trying to make it, he just got the biggest one imaginable. Now, the real work begins. There's this fascinating, persistent idea in Idol history that it might actually be better not to win. It sounds crazy, but when you look at some of the show's biggest stars, you see a pattern: a lot of them weren't the champions. This whole curse of the winner idea makes you question the prize Jamal Roberts just got. The most legendary example is Jennifer Hudson. She got knocked out in 7th place in season 3. She didn't get the winner's contract or cash advance. She got exposure. And with that exposure, she was free. Free from the winner's contract, free from the pressure to make a pop album, and free to choose her own path. That path led her to an Oscar for Dreamgirls and a massive, Grammy-winning career. She is easily one of the most successful people to ever be on the show. And the list just keeps going. Adam Lambert was the runner-up in season 8. Today he's a global superstar, fronting the band Queen and selling millions of his own albums. A lot of people would say his career has eclipsed that of Chris Allen, the guy who actually won. Chris Daughtry got voted off in 4th place in season 5. He immediately started his own band, Daughtry, and put out one of the fastest-selling rock debut albums in history, outselling that season's winner, Taylor Hicks, by a mile. Non-winners like Catherine McPhee, Gabby Barrett, and Lauren Elena have all built huge careers in music, TV, and Broadway. So why does this happen? A few reasons. First, the winner is locked into a very specific, very restrictive contract. They're tied to the show's production company and its partner label. They have less creative control. A runner-up or a fan favorite is a free agent. They can take offers from multiple labels and negotiate a better deal that fits their own artistic vision. Second, the winner has to carry the American Idol brand. Their first album is the Idol Winners album. This can make it hard to establish their own identity. Non-winners can shake off that Idol label faster and define themselves on their own terms. Third, there's the pressure of expectation. The winner is supposed to be a huge, instant star. If their first album doesn't sell a ton, they're quickly labeled a flop. A non-winner doesn't have that same weight on their shoulders. They're the underdog, and their success feels more earned, which can build a really dedicated fan base. This doesn't mean winning is a bad thing. For every Adam Lambert, there's a Carrie Underwood. Winning guarantees you a contract and promotion that non-winners have to fight for. But the runner-up advantage is a real thing that shows the complicated trade-offs of the Idol prize. For Jamal Roberts, this history is a lesson. It shows that the title isn't a guarantee. His future depends on the music he makes and the choices he makes. The careers of stars like Jennifer Hudson and Adam Lambert prove that the most valuable thing you get from the show isn't the contract, but the connection you build with the audience. In the end, that's the only prize that really lasts. So, after breaking all of that down, the prize that's really a loan, the contract that's really a mountain of debt, and the platform that's the real prize, what do you think? Is winning American Idol still the ultimate dream, or is it a trap of debt and obligations? Let us know what you think down in the comments. Is the prize a dream come true, or just a career-starting compromise? And while you're down there, make sure to like this video if you learned something and subscribe for more deep dives into the reality behind reality TV. The story of what Jamal Roberts got for winning American Idol isn't simple. On that confetti-covered stage, he won a title, a trophy, and a bunch of promises. He was promised $250,000, which we now know is a recoupable advance that's taxed heavily and paid out in pieces. He was promised a record deal, which we now understand is a business deal that puts him deep in debt to his new label. He did get some real perks, like that Disney cruise. And he hit some impressive milestones right away, like a #1 Billboard hit and a spot on a major tour with music legends. Those are the very real benefits of the massive platform the show gave him. We also saw how his story was twisted by the internet, with viral rumors that were inspiring but had no basis in reality. Here's the truth: American Idol didn't hand Jamal Roberts a career. It handed him an opportunity. A very expensive, very complicated, and very public opportunity to work at the highest level of the music industry. His win wasn't the end of the journey. It was just the first, messy chapter of his life as a professional artist. The cameras are off, the confetti is gone, and the shows are over. For Jamal Roberts, winning was the easy part. Now,